G'day everyone, it is Jai, that Aussie metal guy here with Crannk.com, and today I'm chatting to an absolute institution, Dave Graney, who isn't just an Australian icon. He's one of those rare shapeshifters who has moved through eras, genres and identities with style and swagger, from Mount Gambier to London post-punk chaos with the Mooders, through the golden years with the Coral Snakes and his work with Claire Moore. He has carved a career out of on his own terms. And now in 2026, he's stepping into another piece of rock mythology, celebrating none other than Lou Reed, the Velvet Underground, and Nico, an all-star tribute rolling across the country with Robert Forster, Harvey, Robert Snarsky, and more. It is a who's who of musicians and an amazing band as well. Dave, thank you so much for joining me to talk to you about all of this.
Thank you. Thanks for that great introduction. I better live up to it. I'm looking
Um,
forward looking forward to this show. I'm doing it's like Velvet Underground and Nico and Lou Reed, but I'm doing pretty much Lou Reed's solo songs from about 73 to 79. Yeah.
I seen this. I had the presser come across my desk, and I was super excited because I was like, Dave Graney doing Lou Reed. This is absolutely amazing. Your voice just seems to be totally suited for doing some Lou Reed, especially the solo stuff as well. Tell me a little bit about though. Do you remember the first time you kind of heard Lou Reed or the Velvet Underground, and when it kind of what grabbed you first about Lou Reed? You know, the sound, the danger, the storytelling.
I guess it was I was a teenager, in high school, and I was hearing the album Transformer was a big hit. It was like a different world to now that it wasn't so retrospective, and it was just part of the pop world. I was listening to David Bowie. They would be on the radio, the Slade, T Rex, the Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, all that kind of stuff. And Lou Reed was just all of a sudden in there with the album Transformer. He had a big hit driving it called Walk on the Wild Side. And it just seemed to come out, and like friends of mine were playing the album. I don't think I heard it so much on radio as around friends' houses and that. And looking at it now, I can see it had David Bowie's production. It was really good. The backing vocals and that on Satellite of Love and stuff like that, and it had Mick Ronson's incredible guitar on songs like Vicious and You Keep Hanging Round, and it had the amazing song Walk on the Wild Side, which is, I now know as Lou Reed, just talking about all the characters at the factory, Andy Warhol's factory, like Bobby came from Miami, FLA, hitchhiked away across the USA, just people from around the scene. And it had an incredible production with the session players from Britain at the time, like Herbie Flowers on bass, who did two bass lines, one on acoustic bass and another electric bass, just gave it that great hook of the bass line opening. And yeah, I was a teenager, and me and my friends, all of us, in about 3 years, we heard Rock and Roll Animal, Lou Reed Live, Sally Can't Dance, and Rock and Roll Heart, 76, and Coney Island Baby, Street Hassle. Loved all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah, what an amazing songwriter and storyteller Lou Reed was, though. I'd heard of his music, obviously, listened to his music a lot growing up. I'm 45 and it's
Mm.
kind of listened to a lot through my mum. She was a huge Lou Reed fan and Bob Dylan fan. And listening to those artists specifically, the way they write songs is like stories. It's like they have this novelist kind of eye for songwriting as well. And it's kind of, I feel, something that you brought to your music and your songwriting as well.
Oh, that sounds nice. Thank you. uh, I guess, yeah, I was in. Yeah, I was inspired by a lot of R&B music. I
Yep.
listened to a lot of blues music when I was a
Yeah,
kid,
funk.
and but I was fired up by punk rock. But yeah, Lou, I think he was from New York. That was big for him. He had an early career, I think, writing hits for not writing hits, but trying to copy hits and carbon copy hits for a job, like a 9 to 5 writing pop songs thing. And I think that gave him the skills to write simple guitar chords and simply, write simple things and get to the point. and he also had literary aspirations through his kind of, I think, studying American literature and that, and he was, yeah, he somehow found himself with those great players in the Velvet Underground, John Cale and Sterling Morrison on guitar and Mo Tucker on drums, and just happenstance the way young people can just find friends. It was amazing, and he was there at ground zero of New York with Andy Warhol's factory, and it gave them a bit of I don't know, cachet to be seen as a thing to be taking notice of. Yeah, I can't speak for Bob Dylan. He's a fantastic songwriter, of course, and he
Yeah.
invented a whole kind of language. But I think, like Lou, he knew how to pick and steal stuff from everywhere that was
Pop
his own
culture.
secret mythology. Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. So I got to ask, how did this all come about? What was the spark that kind of inspired you guys to go, man, we've got to kind of get this out, bring it to an old audience, but to a new audience as well, and kind of let everyone experience this music?
Well, it's from this production company, Metropolis, and they do a
Correct.
lot of things. They're based in Sydney, and they come up with the idea. And I've done something before in the past with the MD, uh, Paul McDonald, who plays guitar, and I know they're really good at doing the music. And it seemed like, early January, or it's in January, and it's sort of a quiet time. Might be good to do something easy. I know all the Robert Forster and Mick and Rob Snarsky. I know them. It should be fun. Should be and I said, these are the songs I'd like to do, and they're kind of mostly 70s ones. They're really kind of upbeat groovers, and I thought, yeah, this would be fun to do.
Yeah, exactly. And for the people who don't realise, Robert Forster of the Go-Betweens, we've got Mick Harvey, of course, the Bad Seeds, the Birthday Party, yourself, Mr. Dave Graney. We've got
Mm.
Rob Snarsky as well as Stephanie DeZille. The band, you've got like Robbie from Died Pretty, you got Guy Barton, the Models, you got Roger Mason as well from the Models, you got Paul McDonald from Glide, the Gin Palace, Steve Kilby, as well as Mark Tobin from Caligula. Um,
Wow.
and tell us a little bit about getting this. How'd you go getting the lineup together? Did you have a say, or what was the deal, or did you guys all get together and go, man, we got to grab him, or was because you've worked with some of these guys as well? I know
I
that.
have. I think Paul. I think Paul got the band together.
Yep.
And he's up in Sydney, so he
Yep.
knows all of them. I've met a few of them before, so looking forward to it. I know Mick and Rob and Rob and so yeah. It was just quite easy. We're not involved in choosing the musicians or
Yeah.
anything, and but I trust Paul, and
Oh, dude.
it should be good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a killer lineup, and you yourself, you've moved through, the post-punk, all sorts of different genres and well, and you've always just let your music and yourself work. Do you think kind of Reed's freedom kind of with genre kind of as well? He done the kind of same thing as well. He didn't lock himself into a genre or style. He just was himself, He was an icon. He just done what he done.
I think Lou Reed was very playful in this period, and
Yep.
the songs I'm doing from that '70s period, each one was very dramatic, a dramatic shift from, if you heard when he put out Rock and Roll Animal, which if you've never heard it, it has these two great guitarists on it, Dick Wagner. What a great name for a metal guitarist,
I
Dick
know.
Wagner, and Steve Hunter. And they're playing Velvet Underground songs, but they're total metal heroes. They're totally doing it. And I think at the time, Velvet Underground fans hated it. They could,
Yep.
what's he doing to my favorite songs? But it got Lou Reed to a teenage audience, and he was very astute in that way. I think he got there via the producer Bob Ezrin, who worked with those two guitarists on Alice Cooper's solo post-band stuff, and it was quite a creative period. But everything Lou Reed did was, he had that hit with "Walk on the Wild Side," and he was always saying, "I can do that anytime I want. I can write one of those," but it's very difficult. You have to get all your so many things in a row to get to that moment of being, you know, the first, on the executioner's block. But then he did like Metal Machine Music, which was just nuts, and it just 4 sides of 16-minute sounds of a single frequency, and no songs, no beat, no human voice. And that was kind of mad. And then he did Sally Can't Dance, and then he turned around and did very heartfelt kind of confessional ones like Coney Island Baby and Rock and Roll Heart. And then Street Hassle, which was so that was very much coloured by punk rock. So he's doing his own thing, but he's very much pushed here and there by the business and the cultural world.
Yeah, an absolute icon. He even did that Metallica one, which I dug the hell out of. I went and brought that Lulu dude, and like Lou Reed has had an impact on everybody across all walks of life as well.
David Bowie said that was his favourite Lou Reed album. Lulu one.
Yeah, people have too much time on the internet to complain about shit. It was a killer album as well, actually. Dave, this has been an absolute pleasure, mate. You've always carved your own lane, sharp, stylish, literate, and fearless. It's been an absolute pleasure to get to chat to you about this tour. Everybody, you can go catch this tour over in starting in January, 24th of January. We're at the Sydney and the Metro. 25th is Brisbane, the Triffid. Friday, 30th January in Melbourne, 170 Russell. We're rounding it out in my home city of Adelaide on the 31st of January, which I will be attending at the Gulf. It's an absolute ripper. Everybody sell this out. Dave, last word, shout outs, thank yous are all on you, my friend.
Okay. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. That was very complete. And the Gov's such a great venue. I played there last month with the Coral Snakes. Just a great, fierce venue to play. And I'll have to make sure all the other singers are out of the band room when I'm, getting ready to perform. Yeah,
looking
to stand outside.
Looking forward to it, mate.